Good evening and welcome to Marvel Monday. Good evening. Today is a little bit of a bittersweet stream because it'll be my last Lego stream from the current studio. We're getting ready to do a move. Um, and moving day is going to be sometime in December, so I've decided in order that I can prepare for the move, today is the cutoff day for new Lego builds so that I can get my Lego stuff organized and my other stuff organized and ready for the move, which will be in a few weeks. So I do have one Lego build I'm working on off stream that I'm waiting for replacement parts for. That's the exception because obviously I can't finish that one until I get those parts. So hopefully the parts will be in soon and I'll be able to finish that before we have to pack everything. So, but for tonight I decided that we're going to do Marvel Monday, and this will be my. I do have one Marvel set that's coming to me before the end of the year, but like I said, no new builds probably until January. This is the set we're doing tonight. This is the Avengers Age of Ultron diorama, and in this set it contains all six of the original Avengers, which is Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. I actually already have some Captain Americas and some Black Widows and an Iron Man, but this will be the first time. This will be the first time I'll be adding Hawkeye, Thor, and Hulk to my collection. And Hulk actually gets to be a big fig in this set, so they did him justice. There's a lot of sets out there where Hulk is reduced to minifigure size, and he just looks silly and cartoony like Hulk Jr., but this is the real deal. He's a big fig. So, and I think he's my first humanoid big fig. I have a couple others. Like I have like the various animals, the dinosaurs, the Rancor, but this is my first humanoid big fig. And Thanos is another Marvel character that gets split between being reduced to to a regular minifigure and looking cartoony, and sometimes being given the proper big fig treatment like he needs. But I don't have Thanos in my collection yet. But this set does represent the first Marvel set I have that actually has bad guys included. It's just a couple of unnamed agents from Hydra, so there's no named villains. But at least they give they provide some enemies for the heroes to fight against in this diorama scene. This is one of three dioramas that Lego Marvel has done in the past year. I've done the Civil War diorama. I've done the Civil War diorama, and this is the Age of Ultron diorama. There's also an Endgame diorama, but I will not be getting that set. It's got a lot of character redundancy with the Civil War set, and it's also not a good set. It's got problems. But that set's one redeeming quality is a big fig Thanos, but there's other retired sets I can go onto eBay and get a big fig Thanos from if I wanted. So we will be adding Thanos and some other named villains next year to the Marvel collection. There is one Marvel set I'll be getting that I probably won't build on stream because it's too big and the build will take too long. But there is one big Marvel set retiring um, that I should be getting by the end of the year. I won't get to build it till we're in the new place, so I probably won't build it till January. Not building any Lego after tonight in this place. This is probably not my last stream from the studio because it is a few weeks till the move. I'll just have to come up with some other content to do if I want to stream again before the move throughout the month of December. Games will be tough because most of my games library got corrupted, and with me focused on the move, I'm not going to have the time to sit down and try and sort that out until January. But I think a few games survived. We can also do karaoke. We can do a Suno session for the holidays. We do have options. Um, we could also do a. We could also come up with a fun thing to do with ChatGPT. We can play browser games. We're not shut out of streaming for the end of the for the next few weeks. We're just not doing any more Lego after tonight. Until January, there will be lots of Lego streams in 2026 in the new place. So look forward to that. I have lots of cool Lego streams in the queue for January and beyond. So I've talked a lot already. So this is the Avengers Age of Ultron diorama featuring the original 6 Avengers. And let's go ahead and get started because I started about an hour later than I was planning stream tonight. I got sidetracked talking about move stuff with some of the other people involved. So good reason for being late tonight. This is the front of the box. You can see there's all sorts of action going on. This set uses a lot of the clear pieces for posing superheroes and all sorts of action poses like the other diorama set had. We'll see what we can do with those. Here's the back of the box. And so it looks like there's gun turrets. There's okay, so that this picture just shows how the base is laid out. There's gun turrets. There's a truck. There's a way to mount the truck in an action pose. So, oh, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Back of the box, just another moment. We'll linger for a bit, because that looks awesome. And you can look at the front of the box a little bit as I push these tabs. Let's get this open and get started. Okay, so Hulk's body is loose. Hulk's body is loose. I can't do anything with this until we get the rest of his pieces. So, like I do with other loose big pieces, I'll just set it aside till the instructions call for it. Let's see here. We also have this instruction book here. I'll just set this over here for now, since we don't use the paper instructions here. And let's take a moment to get organized. So it looks like the numbered bags go up to 6. And if I remember correctly, this set, I think, is supposed to have a sticker sheet, but I'm not seeing it in this pile yet. Bag 6 looks like it has a lot of tree details, and I see the Iron Man mask. So we're not going to get Iron Man till the end, it looks like. And here's bag 1. And before I get started, I thought when I was doing my preparations for this set, I thought I saw a sticker sheet in the list. So let me go make sure we're not missing that. Give me a moment to find the set on my Bricklink list here. Yeah, actually, I'm looking through this parts list. It looks like there isn't a sticker sheet for this set. So that's awesome. We don't have to deal with funky stickers tonight. we get 9 minifigures and no stickers. So this set's going to be epic. Alright, so we have bag 1. Let's pull up our instructions and get started. 12 minutes into stream. Wow, I've talked a lot. Alright, let's see what we got here. You can see we have the brick separator in bag 1. Brick, I know the average person doesn't need like more than a couple brick separators. I kind of use my brick separator bag as kind of, I consider it a trophy collection. The more my pile of brick separators grows, it shows how many big sets and fancy sets are going into my collection. I'm up to over 40. Actually, I'm probably up to over maybe 60 by now. I don't know. I'll have to check the numbers after stream. But bag 1 is now open. And it looks like for bag 1, we're going to start with Black Widow as our first character. This will be the 3rd version of Black Widow in my collection, because in addition to the other diorama set, the Civil War one, I also got a small set that came with another Captain America and Black Widow, and I did that one off stream a while back. So for Black Widow, we have a neutral half smile or a determined, somewhat angry action face. Which, considering that this is a battle scene, we'll go with the action face for Black Widow. And let me just find her little blaster. And if you want to see that, Civil War diorama build, you can go onto my YouTube where I keep the entire history of my channel, basically, and you can see the build there. And then the other Marvel set I did on stream was the Hoopty from Marvel's. It's a spaceship which basically came with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and one other character's name I can't remember at this time. I have a couple of other smaller Marvel sets that I didn't do on stream as well. So here's Black Widow. This is a nice interpretation of the character. I'm not sure which of the 3 Black Widows I have is my favorite, but this one, she's got a really cool outfit. I'm going to try and, I know I've been complaining about the focus issues on this camera. That's one thing I'm going to try and resolve during the move, but it may not be right away. It may be, it's one of the things I want to focus on, getting set up things better. I'll have a better area in the new place as well, and there's probably going to be space that I'll be able to set up my Yamaha keyboard and bring music streams back as well. I do continue to do the piano practices, but the piano's in the other room, and there's no room to set up the Yamaha in this place, so that's why I haven't done music streams on camera. So it looks like bag 1 is going to be the truck, which is the, we're going to start with this nice big chassis piece. I haven't seen something like this since Speed Champions, so this is cool to work with. And already we're starting with, yeah, alright, yeah, I see what I need to do there, okay. And we're just gonna roll with this. So yeah, I'm getting the big Black Friday release this year, which comes out on Thursday at midnight, is the first ever Lego Star Trek set. That's a $400 set, but I have $160 worth of discounts in VIP points. So for me, it's a $240 set. So that's the Enterprise D from Star Trek. The set's gonna be way too big to stream. I've already I've already measured. There's no way. Even in the new place, my little stream table and camera angles is not going to be enough. So that's going to be an off-stream build, unfortunately. But I'm really excited about doing that one. And the other thing, the last set I will be purchasing before the end of the year also is the Milano, which is the main ship from the Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's been on my wish list for a while as well. I forgot to set aside the brick separator like I do. So that set's retiring, and I want to make sure I get it. That may or may not be a stream build, depending on its size. Looking forward to the future. In January, there's going to be I'm going to continue to do a lot of Lego Star Wars, a lot of Lego Marvel. I have a 3-part Jurassic expansion to do. I have a 4-part Animal Crossing series I'm going to do because I have all the Animal Crossing sets ready to go after the move. I do have a nice big build queue already to last me through the winter. I'll be scaling back the new purchases so that the unbuilt sets don't take up so much room. And I'll probably be continuing my Chinese New Year tradition next year with a 2-parter. Actually, we'll make a weekend of it. We'll figure out when the actual Chinese New Year is. We'll pick either the weekend before or the weekend after, and we'll do one set on Saturday and one set on Sunday. Because there's a retired Chinese New Year set that I picked out like a year ago, and I want to get that one from eBay. But then they did the reveal for this year's set, and I really like that set. So we're gonna do a 2 for Chinese New Year, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out in the early parts of next year that I'm excited about. That we'll talk about as we get closer to next year. I've been rambling a lot, but this move has it gives me stuff to talk about. My nephew, he decided being out of state for college wasn't ready, so next term he'll be transferring to a local school. So at least the family will all be together again. We have the Thanksgiving coming up this weekend, and with that, traditionally on the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, we all go to the local charity Christmas tree festival, so that'll be fun. Um, if I stop talking, standard Lego my standard Lego statement of sometimes I just run out of stuff to talk about, and it's just there's a lot going on here in preparation for the move, and my brain is a little scrambled right now, but I wanted to get one last build session. What we might do, since I'm not really doing any Holiday Village stuff this year, I'm not putting up my Christmas Lego sets like I did last year because we're getting ready for the move. So what I might do is I might pick like a holiday or holiday adjacent set and do a computer Lego stream, which I haven't done in over a year. It's been a long time since I did computer Lego. Who needs computer Lego when you got real Lego? But since I can't do real Lego until January after tonight, perhaps maybe we'll do some computer Lego since most of my games are out of commission right now. We'll see what I want to do over my last couple streams for the year. I'm also coming up on my 400th episode. I think, based on timing, hold on, give me one moment, because ideas. Let me check my channel real quick and see where I am. I have 2 episodes to upload. That's going to put me at 394. So if I stream 5 times throughout December, non-Lego content, if I try to stream 5 times, then we can time it such that the 400th episode will be the first episode in the new studio. Let's see if I manage that. That means I have to stream exactly 5 times between now and moving day. Can I pull that off? Time will tell. And I just put this piece in the wrong place because I was getting excited about milestones. Alright, yeah. So 400th episode coming up. It'll be really cool to make that the first stream from the new place. I may even finagle a Lego set to celebrate for that. We'll see. Actually, I always do Lego. You know, when I started the channel, it was supposed to be a variety show, and it was for a long time. And now it's basically just Lego. And once in a while, a game stream. I don't even remember the last time I did a game stream, not counting the collaboration I did with Brett. We'll try and do another collaboration with Brett starting next year. We'll see what game we want to do next. Oh, I did that incorrectly. Alright, I want to make sure I'm doing this bit correctly. So bear with me. We're working with tiny bits right now. So yeah, we have options. If I stream again this week, maybe Wednesday, but that'll leave me only 4 streams I can do this. Well, moving week I won't be streaming at all, so if I want to get in those 5 episodes, I probably will try to stream something over the weekend. My schedule's clear for Friday and Saturday, but we'll be occupied. I'll be occupied Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so maybe we'll do a weekend stream, depending on how I feel after Thursday. We'll hit something on Saturday, maybe, and then we'll do 4 streams next month before the move, and then we'll be able to do my milestone stream to ring in the new studio. Ideas. Things are happening. Okay, I'm not seeing any wheels, so I think bag 2 is going to be more of the truck. I think bag 1 is just the first half of the truck. Interesting, we're using the hinge pieces for the wheel to connect the wheel arches, because these wheel arches are fixed in place. I don't. Maybe they use the hinges for precise measurements. That happens sometimes. But these are straight, so I don't know. As long as the build is stable and doesn't fall apart on me, it's cool to see the different techniques used sometimes. Oh, wow. I need to get a haircut before the dinner Thursday. My brother said he might be able to give me a midnight haircut after stream. I usually have I usually have my haircut done by my brother. My sister used to do my hair when I was living in the area, but now I'm here, so my brother does it. They both do it so well. The barber I had been seeing since kid, he retired at COVID, so a lot of his clients were elderlies, and a lot of them passed because of COVID. So once he retired, I had to go elsewhere for haircuts. So my sister did them, my brother does them, depending on who I'm with at the time. So it's cool. They both do it beautifully. Alright, we're almost ready to go on to bag two. We just have a few pieces left here. Wow, yeah, the hair's really getting into my face tonight. So yeah, it was interesting seeing the four houses that the family had chosen as the finalists, and then helping to decide which of the houses we were going to pick. The irony is the house that had the absolute best layout for all of us ultimately had the biggest deal breaker for all of us. So, yeah, that house was eliminated first. But the other houses were nice too. And the Lego Mona Lisa is going to keep its place behind the piano. Um, and yeah, things are going to be nice in this new place, I hope. Okay, that's cool. Of course, it's all cool. It's Lego. The only bummer with Lego this season is there's not going to be Lego sets for the new Avatar, the third Avatar movie. Lego, I guess, was just a 9 sets and done kind of ordeal. That would have been nice because there's some new elements in the world of Pandora that are being introduced for the first time in this movie. I didn't do that part correctly, obviously. This is how they're supposed to go, I think. So yeah, this truck is definitely a smaller scale than the Speed Champions cars, but it's part of a diorama, so it needs to be smaller. any Lego in my collection, any sealed Lego in my collection that's not built tonight is waiting for the new house. So I said that already. Sorry, I'm repeating things already. And we're only at the end of bag one. But like I said, we're getting ready for a move. It's been a week, so. Alright, bag two. Bag two is going to give us my first ever Hawkeye minifigure. Bag two, I do see a tire in this bag. So I think this is where we finish the truck. And actually, like I do when I do the Speed Champions and City Vehicles, let's set the wheels aside so they don't keep rolling around all over the place on me. And actually, setting the wheels aside, that leaves a very non-substantial parts pile. We'll be done with this truck in pretty much no time at all. So let's get Hawkeye together. Oh, and I see parts for at least one of the Hydra troopers. I don't have any named Marvel villains yet, but at least for the first time we have some enemy agents. Oh, and he's got this nice quiver piece. I've seen this used in some of the castle sets. I mean, I don't have those sets, but I've seen it used there. And he just has the one face because he has shorter hair, so. Let's find the hair piece. There it is. And then he also gets his bow because he's Hawkeye and archery is his specialty. Archery is his superpower. He did kind of have a little bit of a villain turn himself during the snap when he lost his family, but he came back. He came back to good for the final battle. Oh, I like this minifigure. He's cool. Alright, here's Hawkeye. Oh, I forgot to put the instructions back on. I'm sorry. When I turned them off to look at my channel. Alright, well, the instructions are back up now. And here's Hawkeye. Actually, the camera's focusing a little bit better today. Does it know that we're preparing for a studio change? Yeah, anyway. So there's that. And then here, we'll come back over here to the, here, and it looks like, okay, so, we get two troopers, and they get stud shooters. Alright. There is a third trooper in the set in a later bag, but they got some cool back printing. It kind of reminds me of the Kraken Knights from the minifigure vending machine set. But yeah, there's a Hydra logo on the back. Okay, so that's a very simple build here. I'll show you one trooper, and then we will I'll build the other one. And these two troopers are exactly the same, so I'm just going to show you the one. Here's what the Hydra trooper looks like. And then on the back you can see the Hydra symbol there. Well, you can't because it's once again not focusing, but This is a pretty cool looking trooper, but it's not a named character, so we will make his stud shooter and move on. And of course, a quick test for the stud shooter, which will probably never be loaded again. It works fine. And you know what? Let's move them to the end of the lineup because they're the bad guys. And you've seen stud shooters many times on the channel before. They use them a lot in Star Wars. So let's go ahead and quickly put together the other trooper. And since I've shown you the one, this one's identical, so I'll just arm him up and we can move swiftly on. Oh, I need to test the shooter. I don't know why I bother testing because I don't actually use the stud shooters, but I guess standard practice. Anyway, let's leave room for one more figure because there is a third trooper that we're going to see a bit later on. And so Black Widow and Hawkeye are ready for battle. Let's take these 4 ammo pieces and set them aside. I can't make the proper ammo stacks because these are the tile pieces, not the stud pieces. But it's in a cool trans purple color this time. So there's that at least. I like the color of those shots. Now let's get back to the truck. Looks like the truck has enough room to seat 2. And we're doing the console now for the truck. That's a cool printed panel there. Well, this little piece. Printed dash, I think is what they call it. Man, my hair is out of control right now. So there's what that looks like. The control area for the truck, which is going to go here. Okay. It looks like now we get to do some Technic. I was not expecting looks like it's not a big amount of Technic. It looks like we're hanging these backpack looking pieces off of whatever component we're building here. Interesting. It says we need 2 of those. maybe if I can partially recover my games library, maybe we can make those 5 episodes my first 5 pinball streams. But then I don't really get to do any holiday stuff. Let's postpone the pinball project. I know I've been talking about the pinball project since summer, but let's go ahead and postpone that project to January at least. Because starting off the pinball playlist is a 5 episode plan. So I don't wanna commit all 5 of my pre-milestone slots to that. So because then I don't get to do any holiday themed streams if I wanted to do one of those. So we'll see what I end up wanting to do throughout December. Okay, there's supposed to be. There it is. It was just hiding. No missing parts here so far. And I don't really have a hard stop tonight. So, but of course, Lego streams are the length of Lego streams is defined by how long it takes to build the set that's being featured. So, okay, I see what the Technic's doing. This is going to be the part of the frame for the part of the canopy frame, I think. Alright, how does this attach now? Alright, these go on like this. And then this comes down. And this just rests against it. It doesn't actually physically attach on that end. But it's still nice and secure. It's almost wheel time. This is a really nice looking truck. And it looks like we're putting a shovel and a pickaxe across the hood of the car. Not sure why. I don't actually. It's been quite a few years since I've seen this movie, so I don't actually remember this particular sequence. So I don't know. I don't remember why there's a pickaxe and a shovel going on here, but there is. All right. Wheel time. So we'll take the wheel piece, push the tire piece on. And actually the tire printing is on both sides of the tire, so it doesn't matter which way we line it up. And this is what the wheel looks like for this vehicle with the tire attached. Speaking of vehicles, for Speed Champions, they're releasing 2 movie cars in January. Lightning McQueen from Pixar and the Back to the Future DeLorean Time Machine. And then there's a bunch of other cars that will also the normal Speed Champions Fair that will be releasing in both the January wave and the March wave. So my plan is to do the two movie cars as a stream in January, and then the rest of the cars pick up and do together in March. I'll probably pair them off and not do a super marathon depending on how many cars there are. I did a super marathon with the August Speed Champion cars. Those were some like 6 nice cars. And you can see that on my YouTube channel as well, where I keep the complete history of my channel there. You can see all almost 400 episodes there and see how the channel has evolved over the years. How I've had some themes that I used to do that I don't do anymore. That's a little gear piece decided the joystick piece decided to fall off as I was putting the other piece on, and my finger's really too big to get in where that goes. Oh, I see. So the transparent parts are being put onto the truck to support characters who are going to be flying around later. I see how this is going out. And this shows Black Widow and Hawkeye in actual action poses, but we're not going to pose the characters until the diorama is ready to be posed. So we're going to hold off on that for now. So here's our truck with action mounts. It looks pretty cool. With bag 3, we're going to get the Hulk. So I'll set the truck aside. And it looks like bag 3, we're going to start the scenery. So I'll set the truck off screen for right now. And let's get bag 3 and get focused. Hulk is a new character in my collection. I don't have any of the little Hulk regular minifigure size figures at this point. So this will be my first Hulk. And it's cool that my first Hulk is one that's in the proper big fig style. My guess is 3 through 6 are going to be the terrains. Alright. Which way's okay, that way's forward. Alright, let's find his other arm now and get that put together. And his other hand needs to go into the arm. And of course, he needs his headpiece and then his hairpiece. So the arms, hands, and head are posable, but the head is on really tight, so it's not easy to pose his head. And of course, he has a standard Hulk smash angry expression. I like this figure. Here is the Hulk. He's big, he's mean, and he's ready to start something. Let us begin building the terrain now. It's really cool that this set had no sticker sheet. Given the nature of this set, I really was anticipating one. But I do like when the less stickers, the better. I have a couple Marvel sets, small Marvel sets I did off stream. I did the Rocket Raccoon mech. There's a Doctor Strange portal polybag that I did. The Shang-Chi dragon that may have been part of a stream with something else. There's a polybag miniature version of the Shang-Chi dragon. I've done the Hoopty. I've done the Captain America Black Widow motorcycles. And, of course, the Civil War diorama in this one. And I will be acquiring the Milano. And that's where I stand with Marvel right now. Definitely, as we move into 2026, there's a lot of gaps in my Star Wars Lego collection that I want to start filling in. There's also a lot of gaps in my Disney Princesses collection that I kind of, sort of, unofficially started earlier this year. Obviously, I'm going to continue to collect the CMF series off stream as I've been doing. Oh, I think the January wave they're doing a theme series, not a licensed series, but a theme series. And if they do that, I'll probably find some way to finagle it on stream. So this bag represents, this is the third bag out of 6. And when we finish this bag, well, we have 5 of the characters so far. We're missing 1 enemy trooper and 3 of the Avengers. Where's that piece? There it is. Now, where's that other piece? There it is. Let's keep going. As for Lego DC, I haven't really... Lego DC is limited to just Batman right now, apparently, and has been for a few years. DC has really fallen. I mean, the Batman stuff is cool, but I've never been into Batman. What pieces am I dealing with here? Yeah, that's that piece. Okay, so then these will go here. There's a lot of big sets I'll be getting next year that are too big to do on stream, but at least they'll be cool for display. And like I've said many times, sometimes I just want to do Lego builds off stream. Doing a Lego build on stream adds so many layers of logistics to actually doing the build. You know what I mean? So sometimes I just want to sit down and build without having to do all that extra stuff. But I like to share as much of my collection with you guys as possible. So I only do that with a select few sets or sets that I know are logistically not going to be able to do on stream, that are going to be too big. I've done a couple sets that I probably could have done on stream using the 2 tray table setup that I've done a couple times, but no, I'm rambling again. Oh, and I just realized this is actually a snow-covered scene, so it's perfect for holiday season. Oh, and looks like we're doing a little ramp here. And it looks like we're doing an assembly now, so we'll set that off to the corner real quick. My characters are going off camera again. Oh, Hulk's big. He's taking up a lot of space in the camera. But as a figure style character, he has a right to be there. So sorry if he's blocking any of the view. I do apologize in advance that probably the best set in my collection for the next couple months is one that can't be streamed. We already talked about the Enterprise, but it's cool. I have to measure the shelves that are going over and make sure that they're big enough to accommodate that one. And if they're not, then I have to go get new shelves. So yeah, bag 3 isn't going to take too much longer. We're going through it pretty quickly. We will, however, no. Do I need it? We'll see. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm in the zone right now. That's why I got quiet. But you know the drill. You know how these Lego streams work. Alright. Oh, more stud shooters going on here. And I actually have a proper stud in this parts pile to test it. Yep. Okay, I need to do one more. Oh, I see what's going on here. We're building a little bit of a turret setup for the Hydra troopers. What fell? What fell this time? Okay. These brown, they're called candlestick pieces that make up the trees in the parts pile. they've decided to go renegade. Okay, so we're building a little tree here next to the turret. Okay, so it's there it is. So they have an interesting effect here with the plant piece and both the leaf piece in both green and white to give the effect of part of the leaves being covered with snow and part of the leaves having had the snow shake it off, which is pretty cool. I put that one on facing the wrong way. Now this one goes on. Now we have a snow cap layer. And then the top of the tree here, all covered with snow. And then this little bit just goes on top of the tree here, next to the turret. And this is our little turret and tree assembly. Oh, I see. So it's showing the action feature here. Hulk comes along, and he jumps on the little platform, doing his Hulk smash thing, and it causes the turret to explode. Clever play feature there. I like it. Alright. Let's see what bit of our diorama comes next. Bag 4. Alright, so it looks like bag 4 is going to give us Thor. Thor is one of my favorite Avengers. I'm not sure if he's my favorite because that fluctuates a lot. I also like Captain America, for example. I like all the Marvel heroes. Which one is my favorite varies day by day. But very consistently, it often returns to Thor. And bag 4 is also going to be a new piece of terrain, so I'm going to go ahead and set the turret aside for now in my little off-screen area, and we'll get bag 4 out. So pretty consistently, Thor, even though my favorite hero varies day to day, my favorite Marvel hero, Thor has a higher proportion of days where he's my favorite than most of the other heroes. He's pretty cool. And this will be my first version of the Thor figure. It looks like he has a lightning blast effect that he gets to use in this battle scene. Oh, and he has a rubber cape piece, similar to the one that came with the Doctor Strange figure I have. No, I'm not going into my storage to pull that figure out. Not on stream. Maybe we'll do a minifigure recap stream at some point, but It'll be obsolete by the very next stream after that anyway, so what's the point? But, okay, let's get Thor together. So I can choose Thor's regular face, or I can choose Action, Energy Blast, Lightning Eyes. Which, given this is a battle scene, is the way we're gonna go. We're gonna give him the action eyes. So here, Thor appears in a very high proportion of Marvel sets. It just took me this long to get one because Thor and Hulk, the characters, were actually off-world during the events of the Civil War battle that we did before. So they're not in that set. Hawkeye was present at that battle, but for some reason he wasn't in that set either. But there's Thor. It's not really focusing, but I did choose the Lightning Eyes face. He looks cool. Now we have to give him his hammer, and his hammer has this big lightning blast effect coming off of it. The hammer. Let's see, do I remember how to pronounce the thing? Mjolnir, something like that? Very much a lightning hammer. Asgardian power. You gotta love it. The Thor bits of the MCU are some of the best stuff. He's an entertaining character. His little letting himself go arc after Ragnarok, and then his comeback arc in Love and Thunder. That was fun. So there he is. You can see the energy effect, the lightning energy effect coming off of the hammer. Mjolnir, I think is how you pronounce it, but there it is. And there he is. And we also, this bag, get the final Hydra Trooper. He also gets a stud shooter. He has a lot of pieces going on, it looks like. Alright. This trooper is a little bit different. That must be why he's not with the others in terms of bagging. Also, there's not a huge number of pieces in this set. I mean, in this bag. It's not going to take us too long to get through this bag once we get the figure together. But it looks like, yeah, this trooper is definitely... This trooper is definitely a little bit more substantial than his teammates in terms of the build here. Okay, seriously, where is that piece? Okay, I was looking for the incorrect color. And the color happened to be clear as well. That's why I didn't see that piece at first, but we're good now. So the basic part of the trooper assembly is now together. Now we just gotta build up. Oh. Looks like he's got jetpack action. That's what's going on here. And then there's these angled bits we have to do here. His jetpack is now working on half power. And now he is working on full power. Let me just align those and make sure they look straight-ish. So there's his little jetpack action going on with the trans purple to represent the thrust energy there. Now, you've seen him from the front before, because from the front he's the same as the other two guys. But, like the other two guys, he also needs to be given a weapon. So, let's test the little stud shooter. Actually, we'll use a regular stud for this test. And we'll take off the two designated ammo pieces. We'll get them out of the parts pile and set them with the others from earlier. And we will give him his gun. And he will come here and sit with his teammates. So only two of the set's characters are outstanding at this point, but we still have two more numbered bags after this one. So they'll show up in those two bags. Yeah, it looks like bag 4 isn't anything at all in terms of not too much substance in the parts pile, but the tower is an important part of the structure of the scene itself. I think, like I said, I don't remember this exact sequence from the movie, but I know it was an important one in the movie. I'll have to go back and rewatch some of the earlier MCU movies and really catch up because I missed all three of the ones that came out this year. And I know they did some significant world building stuff this year with the introduction of several new heroes. So I need to go back and catch up. That'll be probably realistically a project for next spring because I'll need some time to get settled into the new place. Alright. We do have a 2x going on here. You know how we do that on this channel by now. So it looks like this bag is just this little tower assembly we're putting together. Okay. Okay. Now 10 o'clock, and we're coming up on about 2/3 done with this set, at least in terms of by instruction page count. We're only about halfway, but by bag count, we're 2/3 done. I guess bags 5 and 6 are going to be a little bit more substantial than bags 3 and 4. Well, they do make up the bulk of the main terrain section, so makes sense. Of course I did that incorrectly. These little half round tiles, they're supposed to be stacked on the round, the little round plates here. No biggie to fix. There, we fixed it already. So now we get to move on and keep going with the build. So I guess we're building now the top platform for this tower. Okay, so now we're ready to put this tower onto here. Make sure it lines up so everything's even. There we go. So just make sure everything's lined up and we're good to go. And there is a pre-attached explosion effect on this tower. So yeah, something's going to be posed here. And then we have to make a another action mounting point here. And this mount goes here, maybe? A little bit lower, actually. So yeah, it shows Thor is meant to be flying next to this tower. Okay. But again, we're not doing that till the end. And bag 5 will give us Captain America. And I would assume this tower's done, and we should set it off to the side until we need it at the end. Oh yeah, bag 5 has a lot of pieces in it. Okay, bag 5 is out. Lots of plates. Uh, yeah. This may be a bit unruly when we start to build, but let's do it the best we can. Obviously, there might be stuff hiding under plates. There's his legs. There's the torso piece. And he does have a little bit of a backpack piece going on here. I'm not sure what that's for. This is before that iconic moment at the end of the movie where he stopped wearing his mask so it could be a little bit more personable to the people he was trying to save. But for this part of the movie, he still very much was wearing his classic mask there. So there, he's set up. And of course, the last thing we need to give him, here's Captain America himself. And he needs one more piece. Possibly the most iconic part of the character here. If I can find it in the parts pile. And I saw it a moment ago. There it is. We have the Captain America shield. One of the more iconic Marvel props. There we go. The iconic shield. There's actually a Lego set of that. If I do the Lego set, it's not going to be on stream. Because that one's a big repetitive build and it won't be fun for you to watch. But that set is on my wish list. So it looks like now we're going to build Captain America's motorcycle. So we have a second vehicle to go with the to go with this battle scene now. So here's the motorcycle frame. No, that's not the frame. That's the seat piece. This is the frame piece. So we got the motorcycle frame here. And we have two wheel pieces here that need to be put into the tires and attached to the frame here. This version of his motorcycle, it's an iconic vehicle for this phase of the MCU. This version of the vehicle is not quite as detailed as the version of the motorcycle in the Black Widow Captain America motorcycle set. But even still, those were very simple builds. It was like a $15 set if I remember correctly. So it's got wheels. Now we're gonna put on the seat. We're gonna put the seat piece onto the frame. What are we doing here? So we need to find a that's supposed to be, yeah. I need to find a stud here. All the trans-clear pieces are these action pieces, but they're supposed to be, oh, not a stud, a tile. There we go. That's why I couldn't find it. I was looking for the wrong thing. Of course, he needs the bar to hold on to. And then you can seat him on the motorcycle. which we will do when we're posing the diorama at the end. But for now, we got to keep to our system of having the character line up. So here's the Captain America motorcycle, another piece of the diorama that needs to be set aside until we're assembling the scene. And now we begin with a lot of plate work, it looks like. Once we get the big plates put together, we should be able to manage the parts pile better and put everything back on the table. I'm doing the best I can with the space I got. I saw the piece count and didn't think I would need the 2-table setup for this. And realistically, for this set, that probably would have been overkill to do the 2-table setup anyway. So it looks like what we're doing with this bag is we're beginning to set up the base sections of the terrain. This was a good choice. This is a fun choice for my final Lego build pre-move. I do have some more substantial sets here, but those all would represent like 4 or 5 hour streams. I just wanted to do something simple for tonight. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing something big enough that would make me have like a partial box in my storage system. I have a whole storage system going, and I wanted to be sure that the last few sets I have to pack would all fit in the last box I have prepped pre-moving boxes. Okay, let's push all this over and see what I can do with this. Yeah, it's not a terribly huge base. It definitely fits well within the confines of the table, but it's just having all the plates and the part pile spread out like that made it look bigger than it was. We'll be fine at this point. The rest of this should be pretty straightforward and doable. I have cleaned up my Lego wish list by about half, so that I'll actually be able to catch up with it next year. And by the end of next year, I'll no longer have a Lego backlog. Well, I will have a Lego backlog of unbuilt sets, but I won't have a backlog of unbought sets that I want. I'm going to be pickier with what I buy, but I already have an extensive build queue to get me through a couple months until I can afford a few more sets to buy. So we're good. I like having a long-term plan. Animal Crossing was a long time coming, and it looks like we've hit the end of that theme in terms of Lego releases, because none have been announced for next year. At least not yet. Honestly, I may save Animal Crossing for spring. It seems like such a colorful, springy, summery kind of set, so we'll see what I want to do with that later. Oh yeah, they are supposed to be misaligned like that. Okay. Alright. And then there's one more piece I gotta put on. And how does that one line up? There. Okay. So we have most of our core 6 Avengers lineup and all of our enemy Hydra troopers now. The only character we're missing at this point is Iron Man. So he's going to be in the last bag. Okay, we need to find one more of those white quarter tiles there. There it is. Okay. And we have another posing point here. Okay. So we're building up these snow mounds right here. A little texture onto the base of the diorama. All right. Lots of hookups and attachment points on here. Okay, I think this is lined up correctly. Yeah, that appears to be. Okay. If I'm wrong, I'll fix it later. If it's something that, yeah, needs to be fixed. We're talking about snow clump details right now, so I don't really think, well, layout does matter for setting up the ultimate, the final arrangement of the scene later. But lots of little bits of texture and mounting points here. Another little mounting point here. This base is just covered with mounting points for all the action bits. This is going to be fun to put together after we finish the actual assemblies. All right. And a transparent big brick here. Interesting. And we have to do a 3x. And we're just under the 2-hour mark of stream with only one bag to go. We do the whole page on one, and then we do the assembly again, and then this is a 3x, so we'll do the whole assembly again after that. And then we will turn the page and see how this progresses after we have 3 copies of that. One more, and then we can move on. Ooh, I just noticed the Hulk Big Fig has studs on his back, which means if you wanted to, you could make someone ride him. He could be a mount. That may have happened a couple times in the movies, I can't remember, but I don't think it's a thing for this scene. Oh, I'm missing a gray plate, it looks like. Yeah, I need two more of those little plates, and I don't. I only have one. Do I have one in here, maybe? Oh, that's a. Yeah. Alright, we're good to go. I'm not missing anything anymore. So yeah, bag 5 uh, gives us a lot of attachment points on the terrain. Oh, I did have enough plates. Wait, no. I forgot to put a plate on the other one. Hold on. Let's go fix that real quick. Yeah. This is the one that I forgot. There we go. Okay, so this is a barricade of some sort. And the little mounting bits here are how they attach to the base. Let me I forgot to tile the top of that one. I should have taken it off to fix that tile. Whatever. Easy fix. I don't think these have to be quite perfect, but they should at least look good together. Let's attach the last one and do some alignments here. And shoot. This was supposed to go on Captain's back. The barricade is almost in alignment. It's good enough. It's an action scene. There's going to be battle damage. It's good enough. And it says to attach the tower to this side, like this. So the terrain is coming together now. And then the truck mounts on this hinge here. Okay. So we know Black Widow on the front seat hook of the truck. Hawkeye on the back seat. I'm not putting the characters on until the end. We know Thor attaches by the tower. Okay, but it says to put the truck on right now. And the truck attaches here to the hinge like this on an angle. We're gonna put it on, and then we're gonna, gravity will do its thing. I'll come down and run along the barricade like that. Well, that's a nice dynamic action pose for the truck. And Captain America's motorcycle. And we will probably have to take it off to actually pose Captain later. But it shows him sitting on top of this transparent block here. So he's also doing a dynamic action thing. And then it shows Hulk is going to stand on this attachment point here. And then it shows to take the turret and put it, the connection here. So the turret will attach on this side, like this. And I can already see this is going to break down easily for bagging. This set shouldn't be an issue to bag. Alright, so we have the bulk of our terrain. We know where the heroes so far are going to go. Let's open bag 6. Bag 6 looks like it's the rest of the trees. And then we'll add the characters in, because that'll be the end of the scene. Yeah, bag 6 looks like it's just trees. And Iron Man. Can't forget our last of the main 6 Avengers. Actually, he was the first. He was the first of the main 6 Avengers to get a movie before the Avengers were actually assembled as a team. His movie came first. So let's put them together. Oh, that's cool. He has the flip-up helmet that they used to do. So you can do Iron Man with his regular face. Or, if you want to suit him up and put his mask on, you can do the secondary face, which is this, which shows the screen from his helmet glowing over his face like that. And then you just put the helmet on top of that. So that's fine. There's the other piece of the helmet. Let's get this attached. So that's what he looks like with the helmet on. And then you can just flip the face down and he's ready to go as Iron Man. Such a classic, iconic Marvel MCU hero. And now we just have to give him some energy effects here. I see some more of the trans purple tile pieces. I don't know if that means there's going to be another shooter. I'm not seeing another shooter in this pile though. So extra ammo, I guess. Alright, right now I'm adding Iron Man's energy effects. Or at least I'm trying to. Okay, they attach like that, so that means I have to turn his hands to match the picture in the instructions. Alright, we need to find the last piece of his energy effects. And then we can proceed with building the last bit of the diorama. And we're at exactly the 2-hour mark of stream. Which is what I predicted this build was going to take. So we're good right now. Actually, we're a little bit behind. But we're behind what I predicted. There is no behind when you're doing Lego. There's no such thing as doing Lego too slow. There's no such thing as doing Lego too fast, and there's no such thing as doing Lego too slow. But here's Iron Man with all his energy flight bits attached. He's ready to go. So let's begin these last bits of the build here, and then we'll attach all the heroes to the scene. And if the instructions show where to put the bad guys in the scene, we'll go ahead and move them in. The heroes get to sit out until the end, so you get a little bit more time to look at them. So it looks like we're building some more tree work here. Okay. The tower's there. That goes there. We've got different colors of leaves going on here. Green versus white is easy, but we got 2 different shades of green. And the instructions aren't always clear when you have 2 colors that are similar. You know what I just realized? We never actually took a bio break this build. We had momentum going, and I never needed a bio break. Still, I'd like to remind you, never underestimate the importance of a good bio break during a long stream. This stream hasn't been too terribly long though, so that probably explains why I haven't needed one. But always make sure, if you're gonna stream, always make sure that you are taking adequate breaks as needed. The last thing you want is a health emergency, a personal health emergency during your stream. So make sure you're taking breaks as needed. So we have a little bit of a tree that's in the middle of falling down. So yeah, this is a very dynamic set. Everyone's jumping around and stuff. We're continuing to add attachment points for more details all around. Looks like we're setting up another tree now. Okay, I'm trying to concentrate on how this tree is supposed to look right now, because the instructions aren't always clear with this kind of thing. When you get to leaves, it's sometimes hard to see what direction all the leaves are pointing. It looks like this tree is going to have another mounting point for another character here. Okay, so it shows the mounting point going that way, suspended over the truck. You can see all these little transparent bars and stuff where all the heroes are going to go in a few moments. So Iron Man's going to be flying on that mounting point there. And now we're building another tree detail. Hey, what do you know? All these trees. This set is a garden set in disguise. I like the garden sets. And they're releasing a third one in January. And I will be getting that one. And I will be building that one on stream like I did with the other two gardens. I really like the garden sets. They're really pretty. One of my doctors is retiring at the end of the month. Um, and he's the doctor who discovered that my previous doctor, before moving my care team, that doctor also retired right after I moved. But that doctor, for 5 years, had inadvertently misdiagnosed me. Not a big deal, because the treatments were still doing what they needed to do, but The doctor who corrected the diagnosis and got me on the better treatment, he's retired now. So hopefully there's someone else in his practice who can take over for me. I see him next week. Okay. And now it looks like we're going to do one more of the narrow trees. And I'm pushing the terrain into the characters. Okay. This tree will go here on this side of the barricade, it looks like. Okay. Lots of tree work in bag 6. But these trees are relatively on the easy side. I know I like to bash Lego trees, but they're really pretty once you finish them. It's just the process of making trees I find to be a little tedious, and and because of the way the leaf pieces are, the instructions aren't always clear which way everything is supposed to face. You kind of have to do your own posing of the trees until it looks right. And I just knocked one of the mounting points off of the truck. Let's see if I can get this back on without disrupting too much here. There we go. Alright, the truck is resecured. But let me turn the mounting point so that he's not right up against the tree there. Okay. Now we got to keep going. It looks like we have one more little tree bit to make. This looks like it's going to be another one of the bent ones. That's oriented this way, so this needs to be oriented this way, I think. These trees are nice. I think I'll stop bashing the trees for this set. Because these trees weren't actually that hard to put together. As far as Lego trees go, these were some of the easier ones. Okay. We're quickly running out of pieces, so this is probably finally the last bit of tree, most likely. I do like these trees. This is a good design for a Lego tree. So these would be the ammo then for the turrets up here. I will set these into my little ammo pile over there. Okay. So, alright, so it shows now is when we attach the heroes and villains. I'm going to start with the villains. So I will show the minifigures one more time as I put them up. And so yeah, it shows one trooper there on that mount getting blasted and another one just standing off to the side there. Not really doing much of anything. Hiding out in front of the turret for some reason. That doesn't make much sense. Whatever. I'm going to turn the instructions off so you can see what I'm doing at this point. Obviously, I'm still referring back to them over here on my other screen. So here is our scene. And I know I have all the vehicles pointed towards me right now, but I'll turn it around after I attach the characters. So starting with the Hydra Jet Trooper, he's supposed to go on the tower. And then these two guys are standard troopers. This guy is going to hide near the turret. Well, he's not hiding. He's just standing there. I mean, the instructions literally show him, you attach him to the stud at the edge of the base and have his other foot hanging off. So, here's the other Hydra trooper. And this guy's in a getting blasted pose over on this mounting point here. And I just broke one of the barricade links. Let's see if I can fix that without too much difficulty. Of course, with all the other stuff around it now, that makes any sort of repair to things that fall apart iffy. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, the barricade, but the whole barricade is falling apart now. We do have the truck driving by it, so it's okay for it not to be perfectly straight, but still the parts do have to be attached and secure. We'll take this tree out so I can access this link here. And we'll put this tree back. And now we will get this trooper back onto his. So yeah, everything in this scene is dynamic and action based. And then we start putting these other characters in. So it shows Iron Man flying sideways, the picture. So let's get him onto his post here. Like that. Captain America is riding his motorcycle, which is mid-jump. Oh, I see why we have that neck piece for Captain. It's so he can wear his shield on his back while he controls his motorcycle. So let's get the shield onto his back. And we'll take the motorcycle off so I can get him posed. Oh, I forgot to show you Iron Man again. That's alright, he's the most recent one you saw. Alright, so there's Captain America on his motorcycle, ready for action. And we will put the motorcycle back onto its post here. And then we have Thor and his big action going on. And he looks like he's flying near the tower. So there's Thor one more time. And we will... yeah, his action post is the one near the tower. I want to have a little bit more. And wow, this is a very busy diorama. I will turn it around so you can see everything from the front in a few minutes. I have to finish posing the characters. Let's get Black Widow and Hawkeye. It looks like they're jumping out of the truck here. Let's see, how is Black Widow attached there? It shows Black Widow kind of doing a little bit of a kick pose while flying. Oh. And then of course Hawkeye, and he's kind of like jumping up and doing archery, and he's in I'm not sure how he's supposed to be attaching in. Maybe. Is he supposed to just balance on there? Because I don't see that holding. No. He's supposed to be on like that, maybe? Because that's got no clutch power either. Give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out how Hawkeye is supposed to attach here. Oh, that's what the issue is. I have his mounting point facing the wrong way. Now he has an attachment point that's actually going to work. Let me get this back onto the truck. Yeah, the way the instructions say to do it, he's right up against the tree. So he's going to have more of a sideways pose, I think. Unless it shows that's correct. Unless I put him here, well, he's still right up against the tree. I need that to face that way according to the instructions, but that unless I okay, I'm trying to fix Hawkeye's mounting point because it's not cooperating. The tree is in the way. Okay, but it's got the side stud now, so I can just put him up here. I mean, it's not really in the way. And that just leaves the Hawk. Hawk smash. Probably the highlight of the set for me is Hawk, because he's my first humanoid big fig. And the instruction picture shows him going onto this mount like this, getting ready to smash the turret. Alright. So yeah, that's all the heroes attached to the diorama now. And the end of this instruction book, so let's take a thing. So we're at 2.5 hours exactly. Let's take a thing. So we're at 2.5. You know what? Night's still young. It's 11 o'clock. We'll turn this around to the front and you can see all the action. We have Hulk, Captain America, Thor is over here somewhere. And then we have Black Widow, Hawkeye, and of course Iron Man over here in the front. And then we have two ground troops here. This one's getting blasted. And then we have the jetpack trooper on the tower. So yeah, nice big action scene. And you know what? The night is still young. And I can't do real Lego for like a month and for like 5 weeks. So let's do a bonus build tonight. But before I do the bonus build, I do need to take a quick bio break because I haven't had one off stream. So You know what? Enjoy the action scene. I will surprise you with what the bonus build is when I get back. I will see you in a few minutes, and this bonus build should take us right up to just around a little past midnight, and then we will sunset Lego in this studio, and we will patiently or impatiently await the return of Lego in the new studio in the new year. But we still have a few more non-Lego streams coming before this studio sunsets. This is just the last Lego one. This space has been about 90% Lego streams. I did a couple game streams with Brett, and there was one or two game streams I did on my own. But this space here has pretty much all been Lego since I came back here. Uh, the variety part of my variety show kind of took a backseat this year, especially with all those problems I had during the summer. Well, I'll see you in a few minutes. We'll do one more Lego build, the last Lego build in this space. I'll give you a hint. It is Disney. Marvel's owned by Disney, so we're going to do a Disney set, and I know that set doesn't have a separator, so I'm just going to leave this one out on the table for when we do that one. But yeah, enjoy the action scene. Lots of dynamic poses going on here. Enjoy this action scene while you wait for me to return. I'll see you in a few minutes, and we will do one last Lego build in this studio. Okay, I'm back, so let's transition into the other set now. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so what I have to do first is, of course, this one has to come off the table. Eh, that'll go there for right now. And I have this set. This is called Disney Classic Animation Scenes. It is a gift with purchase that came out last month, meaning you get it for free after you spend a certain amount of money at the Lego website in a single purchase during a certain weekend. That's how GWPs work. You spend a certain amount in a certain theme on a certain weekend, and they'll send you a free set. And this one was available last month. And what this set is. This set was also available from Disney Store Online in addition to Lego Online. Although I don't think you can get it anymore there either. Plus, the Lego selection at Disney Store Online is very limited. It comes with a little TV, a little retro style TV, the kind that used to be part of the Disney Channel logo, and then it comes with 3 different scenes you can swap out for the TV screen. You have the classic, you know, when you watch a Disney movie and you see the castle and the wishing star fly over the castle. They have that scene. And then there's also The Lion King, and there's Woody from Toy Story. So let's go ahead and get this open. Well, first, front of the box, you can see the 3 scenes there, and then the back of the box, and it just shows you that the play feature here is you can swap the 3 scenes. I think for my TV, I'm going to put in the classic Disney, the Disney logo screen. And then when I display this, I'll have the 2 scenes next to it. Let me pick up my brick separator and let's get building. So, last little bit of look at the back of the box. Oh, there's a little bonus character. Toy Story comes with a tiny little green army man, represented by one of the micro figures. Alright, let's get everything out of here. So there is a little sticker sheet in this one. We do have this cute little sticker sheet with only 4 stickers. But one of those stickers is a circle sticker. And those I find the hardest to apply. So I'll probably butcher that sticker, but I'll try not to. But there's only 4 stickers, so it won't be a big deal. The circle sticker is the classic Pixar ball, and then title cards for each of the 3 TV screens. There's 2 numbered bags. We'll set number 2 off to the side. Of course, we have our instruction book, which we do not need. And we will come over here and pull up the instructions. And we are ready to go. Oh, funny. I'm just looking at the way that this is photographed. In this picture, the way the Lion King scene is positioned, the cloud behind Simba makes it look like he's wearing a chef's hat. That's a silly angle for that picture. Alright, so we're going to open bag 1. And bag 1 is going to be our TV frame. So here it is. We're going into the absolute last Lego set that's going to be built in this room. And I know I mentioned there's a Lego set I'm doing off stream that I'm waiting for replacement parts, and I hope I can finish that one before the move. But that one, since I'm doing off stream, I'm doing it at the big table in the other room, so it doesn't count. For purposes of the stream, it doesn't count. It does count for my collection, though. I really want to get that taken care of before the move, if at all possible. But they're taking forever on my replacement parts. So it looks like we're jumping right in. So it looks like our two figures we won't see until bag two. So bag two might be all the scenes. So yeah, this is the last Lego build in this room. I keep saying that, but I should stop saying that. It's a little sad to think about, but there's going to be a lot more Lego in the new space come January, so this isn't goodbye to Lego. It's see you later for Lego. And we might still do some computer Lego in the interim. Actually, computer Lego might give us a chance to visit a couple of historic Lego sets from back in the day before I started this generation of my collection. The collection I had that I had to sell off a decade ago, maybe we can revisit some of those sets on computer Lego. I probably can't get any of those again. Those are all post retirement inflation prices, and I don't think I'll be able to justify the budget for any of them. Well, there's two I'm gonna try and save up for sure. Alright, I'm rambling again. Yeah, it looks like bag one is just our little TV. Which means bag two is going to be all three scenes, maybe? Yeah, because I do see the Simba figure and part of the Woody figure in there. So bag two is going to be all three of the scenes. Alright. This actually looks like it's coming together pretty quickly. Because I took a break, we are soon gonna be, we're 15 minutes out about from the 3 hour mark of stream. It's quarter after midnight. We're doing well in terms of time. I do have some other small sets. And I could extend stream into the night, late night if I wanted to. But most of my other small sets that I have available are being reserved for other combo streams. So we'll be visiting some of those in the coming months. Just not for a little while. Like I said, this isn't goodbye to Lego on stream. It's just see you later. Alright, these go here. And then these go here. Now, I noticed on Rebrickable is a website where people create their own Lego fan creations and post instructions and parts lists. And I've noticed on Rebrickable, there's a whole bunch of people. I mean, there's a whole bunch of models that people have done custom scenes to go in this TV. I think all the classics are represented in the fan creations at this point. Okay, that goes there. Do that correctly. Yeah. And then it looks like we have a 2x build, so I'll set that aside. And you know how we do 2x's on this channel, so I'm not even going to give the spiel again because I gave it previously on this very stream. So we're already about a third of the way through the instruction book for this set. I knew this one wouldn't take long. Part of the reason I decided to do it is a bonus build. Now with this one, when it comes to the figures, we'll see. I may just put them in the scenes as we go. Because this is a small thing, and this is meant to be a display set, not a play set. Oh, this is the side panel sections that we just made two of. That's what that looks like. Okay, so it looks like we're building the bottom section of the TV. This is the TV legs on which it will stand. So this will go along the bottom of the TV like this. And then the TV will stand up. And you're looking at the back side. I'll let you look at the front side of the TV for now. There's nothing in there. We haven't built the scenes yet. Let's keep going with our build now. We're almost done with the main TV unit. Pretty soon it'll be time to build the 3 scenes. And this has a classic old style antenna that you never see anymore, because this is an obsoleted technology. But it gives off a nice classic vibe to the set though. So we'll pose these a little bit and make a nice little V. And then we will go ahead and attach this to the top of our TV. And then bag 2. So bag 2 doesn't actually have us building the Woody minifigure right away. Usually minifigures are built at the front of whatever bag they're in. I guess we build him when we get to his scenes. So here we've already got our nice little TV frame. That didn't take us long at all. That took us like 15 minutes. Quick, easy little build. There it is. We're already about halfway through the instruction book, so these 3 little scenes we're going to put inside aren't going to be that big a deal. But here's our nice little empty TV frame, ready to go. And I'll set that here off to the side. And it looks like we're going to build the classic Disney castle screen first. Oh, I see the little Simba piece in this parts pile. It's so cute. And actually, one of the sets that's on my list for early next year that I'm going to get for the stream, it actually has a bigger version of the Simba scene in it. So I'm actually going to have 2 copies of the Simba figure in my collection. But for now, this one will do until I can secure the other set. Right now I'm focused on the move, so I'm not buying anything except the one retiring Marvel set and of course the Enterprise at this point. January, my wish list will pick up again. So we're building our scene, and the cool thing about this TV is that the scenes all have dimension. It's not a flat screen TV. It's one of those 3D effect TVs. Or it gives off that vibe, at least this is a 3D model. The parts pile for this bag isn't too substantial. Each of these 3 builds is going to be reasonably quick. And then once we finish, this is our last parts pile in this room, and then Lego in this room is going to be sunsetted. Those pieces are so hard to grip, but they're good for adding texture. And forget what I said about hard to grip, because I just got those 2 on quickly and efficiently. This one goes here, and then there. And this one actually gets a tile, and that goes there. And then one more of those little tower sections for our little castle here. I need to find one more of those little, there it is. Now, when they point themselves that way in your parts pile, they do become hard to grip. Let's get it up this way. There we go. I hope my microphone is not picking up the snoring coming from the other room. If it is, I'm sorry. We won't have that issue in the new place. I've got my own little streaming area that's separate from everyone else's sleeping areas, far away from. There should never be snoring on stream again once we're in there. Well, yeah, that's really coming through on the microphone, isn't it? I see the bar spiking. That's alright. Ooh, this castle's coming together really nicely. I'm liking the design of this first screen for the TV. So when I finish this one, I'm going to put this one in the TV, and the other two I'm just going to leave off to the side for the stream. And we have this tile, and we get our first sticker of 4. And this one is just the Disney logo. I want to center it so it looks good. That's not lined up. It's coming very subtly coming off the edge of the tile there. So let's try that again. There's our first sticker. It's a little offset, but put onto the scene. It's not that big a deal because that actually makes it a little bit closer to the castle. And then there, so now we create the attachment for the star thing. And then we put a little star on, like this. That's a nice look. So here is our first screen. This is, of course, the when you open up a Disney movie and you put it on, this is the little title screen that appears before the movie starts. And it shows how we just push it into the back of the TV like this, and everything should line up. You just push it to the front like this, and that is how the TV looks with the scene added. And we're just going to leave this one in. We'll build the other 2 scenes, but we're going to leave this one in. So, I could end the stream here, because as the TV is going to be displayed, this is how it is. But we still have 2 more little scenes to make, so let's go ahead and finish the set. Alright, we just passed the 3-hour mark of stream. We'll be out of here real soon because it is getting late, and I am getting a midnight haircut tonight. So we're going to build the Toy Story scene next, starting with the Woody minifigure. Woody appears in a proportionally high number of Disney sets. We have Smile, or Over the Top Smile. Well, this is Disney we're talking about. Let's go for the exaggerated smile for Woody. And let's get his hair on. So this is the Woody minifigure. He's pretty cool. And that's what he looks like on the back. He has his cow print vest. Iconic. And I'm not going to bother with taking the time to sit him down. He can just stand until I finish his scene. You know what? We'll let Simba. We'll let Simba wait up front with Woody as well. He's so cute. Look at that thing. They actually have two different versions: a big version and a small version of a brick built Simba. My brother got the small version. All right. I think once I get to the new place, I might actually make some more scenes for this TV. Oh, you know, it'd be cool parting out the parts for the TV frame, getting a whole bunch of those, making a bunch of the fan made scenes, and just doing a row of classic Disney scene TVs on one of my shelves. That would be a cool project. I'll have to look into the feasibility of getting parts to do something like that. Okay. We have here the Pixar ball sticker. And I just yeeted Woody onto the floor. Let me take care of the sticker because it's already off the sheet. That's not horrible. I actually think I did pretty well with the sticker. There's our little Pixar ball sticker right there. I don't think it came out too badly. Probably the cleanest first try circle sticker I've done in maybe ever. I see where Woody went. Let me get him out gently. I just want to see something on here. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going with our build now. I know I got Woody lying down. It's the end of the night. I don't want to take the time to put him into a sitting pose because he's going to be ready to go into the scene in literally a minute or two, so why bother taking that time? So he'll just lay there resting until we put him into the scene. And now we make the Toy Story title tile. Now there's nothing too special about these stickers. It's just plain font. They didn't even do anything with like the logos of the movies here for these title cards. Only the Disney one. But still, it's a one width tile, so there probably wasn't space to do anything with logos. There's a little Toy Story title tile there. now I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So it will be partially turned away from the camera, unfortunately, for a little bit. So now we're creating a representation of some of the toy setting here. And now we have like a little block toy with the little army man on top. Cute little green army man. They were kind of a big deal in the first Toy Story movie. I see where that one fell, but that's one of the pieces that's typically given as a spare bit, so I'll retrieve the one on the floor after stream. Oh, bonus Army Man. I forgot they give these little micro figures as a spare bit. There's our little green Army Man. Maybe I might try to find a place for him in the scene. The spare one. Oh, we get the little binoculars toy too. I forget his name. He's just a side character, but I forget his name. Sorry. I've seen all the Toy Story movies so far, but I'm not a full-on Pixar nerd like I am with the Disney animated studio classics. I like Pixar. I've seen most of them. There's a few of them I haven't seen yet, admittedly, but like I said, I'm more into Disney Animation Studio. And then it just shows putting Woody here in the middle here. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make one quick little impromptu addition. I am going to include the spare Green Army Man. I'm going to have Woody holding him like they're having a little talk or something with the other guy who's standing on the blocks. No use wasting a perfectly good character piece. Right? So here's our little Toy Story scene. Cute. Again, I forgot the binocular guy's name, but sorry. And we're not going to swap this into the TV. I'm going to leave the Disney opening screen on the TV. We're just going to put the little Toy Story scene there so you can look at it while I start back here building the Lion King scene. Our last little sub build for this room. I keep coming back to that fact, don't I? I'm sorry. It's just sentimental, I guess. I mean, I haven't even been in this room that particularly long, about 7 months. But I did a lot of nice sets in here. But before this room, there was the other studio over in the other room at the other end of this apartment. And there was so much more Lego that I did there before I came here. Because I was out there much longer than in here. No matter. It's the end of an era either way for this channel. So, as we go into the 6th year of my stream channel, because I started in 2021, so 2026 is going to be my 6th year. And as we go into my 6th year, we'll be going into my 4th studio setting. I was in the first one for 3 years, and then I came here. And I had 2 different studios over time while I was here. And now we're going elsewhere. I do like the dimensionality, how these aren't just flat screen um, scenes, they actually have depth. We might, one of those four streams might be a karaoke stream. I was planning to do one for Halloween, but because of technical issues, it didn't pan out. So we're gonna do, since we're doing a karaoke, since we would be doing a karaoke stream, just because it wouldn't need as high production values as I was trying to go for with a canceled Halloween stream. I'd also choose a completely different array of songs, obviously, but we'll see how we'll see what I decide to do with those last four streams in this studio. Okay, this one goes here. And we're getting there. There's really just a few more. And now some clouds. And I'm not even sure who's available to raid yet. We'll have to check that out in a few minutes once we finish here. So basically we're painting the clouds onto the scene with these tile pieces right now. Clever use of the heart-shaped tiles to give some definition to some of the clouds. And I just misplaced that tile. Well, it was in the correct spot, but it wasn't turned correctly. There we go. Alright, that's done. And then a big plant over here. And the title tile for Lion King. Give me a moment to place the sticker. I want to make sure it's straight. It's nothing fancy, but still needs to be straight. There is the title tile for Lion King. And here is the empty sticker sheet. You know what we do with those. Wow, this bag left a lot of little spare bits. Let me go ahead and clean these up real quick, and then we'll add Simba to his scene, and then we will find someone to raid and call it a night. It's a couple minutes before midnight. We really only took less than an hour to build that set. I knew it would be a quick one. And since we're done building, we can take our brick separator. We can toss that aside to the spare bits bowl as well. And we can take Simba, and I can attach him on top of Pride Rock, like this. And this shows how you can swap the scenes. And you know what? Let's turn off the instructions. And before I kill stream, let's go ahead and see what these other two scenes look like inside the TV. Let's do the proper look for all three of the scenes, and then we will take these back out. So, quick look there, because I did give you a quick look at Woody as he was playing. So there. So we're going to pop out the Disney opening screen, and we will put in the Toy Story scene into the TV. Alright, he's not pressed into the base all the way. So here is the Toy Story scene inside the TV. And then we can take that out, and we can take the Lion King and we can press that into the TV like this. You know what? I actually might display this one when I get it onto the display shelf. Lion King is so iconic, and it's still one of my favorites all these years later. Now the remake, don't talk about the remake. I like to try to forget that the remake happened. We're not talking about the Lion King remake. But the original. Let's just take a moment of silence for Mufasa, please. I know this came out, what? 94, so 31 years ago. But still. And Lion King is also one of the best... it's one of the greatest stage musicals as well. The stage musical version of Lion King. It scores high on story, spectacle, and soundtrack. Very few musicals hit high marks in all three, in my book. I tend to be a little critical when it comes to musicals. But yeah. For tonight, at least, for the exit scene, we're going to switch this back to the classic Disney opening scene. We need to make space for the Avengers diorama, because that was the main purpose of today's stream. So let me set these off screen for a little bit while I figure out how we're going to do our exit scene. And I'm also going to type our raid while I actually have access to our keyboard. Who's on tonight? Not a lot of musicians on tonight right now, it looks like. But it would be cool to raid John Lee, because he's one of my regular raid outs. And this is an occasion, being the last Lego stream here. Give me a moment. I'm going to put Lego back on the table in a moment. Yeah, he is being live right now. How long has he been going? Well, that wouldn't tell us anything on John Lee because he keeps his stream always up. He has his 24/7 video that he plays when he's not live. But it looks like he just came on for this iteration. So, oh, McDoodle's online too. She's one of my regulars too, although I don't usually rate her. She's one of my late night follows when it comes to music. I mean, we'll come back to John Lee another night. Maybe on the karaoke night, because he's like the Twitch musician. So, but alright, so they're not actually on yet either. They're on the stream starting soon screen. How long have they been on this screen? Oh, only a few minutes, yeah. So McDonald's not ready yet either. Let's go to John Lee. I'm going to type it, but I'm not going to start it because I have to create our exit view. I have to put all of today's Lego back on the table. Alright. So we're going to raid John Lee as soon as I finish getting all of today's models back on the table. Of course, the main event tonight was this beautiful and action-packed Avengers diorama featuring all 6 of the original Avengers lineup. So once again, I can't show close-ups of the figures because we got everyone posed now, but once again, we got Hawkeye, Black Widow is over here somewhere. And this one's Hawkeye. And then over here we have Iron Man. And then we have Captain America over here. Thor is over here. We have a couple of enemy Hydra troopers. Of course, Big Fig Hulk Smash is over here on this side. This was a nice build. I think it'll display nicely with everyone in these dynamic action poses. And yeah, this is fun. I can't really compare it to the Civil War diorama because they're so completely different. I mean, they're similar concepts, but they're completely different in terms of how they actually came out. That's a fun set too. You can look for it in my history. When we finished the Age of Ultron diorama, we also built a classic Disney TV. And the classic Disney TV came with 2 scenes. Lion King and... oh dude, how am I going to do this? Toy Story. Yeah, the scenes are encroaching on the diorama, but if we're going to do encroachment on the diorama, then thematically we should have the TV in the middle. But that covers up even more of the diorama, though. And I just broke off the barricade again. Stand by. Quick little fix coming. Alright, good enough. We could put the diorama back here like this. And then the TV can go... the TV's still going to be blocking... the TV's going to be blocking the truck, but you can see the Hulk. And of course, all the heroes are in flight poses, so you can see them above the TV. Well, flight or jumping poses. You know, the TV's not going to work there. We'll just put the TV at the edge of the diorama. And we'll put Simba in front. It's much lower, much smaller of a form factor, and doesn't block as much of the diorama. And we can put Woody over here on this side. That's as good as the exit scene is going to be with the space I have available on this little table. And in the new studio, Lego builds are going to pretty much still be this little table because this is a surface that I can fit behind the camera and my computer desk. I might have a slightly bigger table to work with, but I also have to consider the constraints of what the camera can see. So we're probably going to keep using these tray tables in the new place for Lego builds. But for now, this was our last Lego stream, our last physical Lego stream of 2025, and our last physical Lego stream in this room. Let's take a moment to reflect. This room is where my Lego Star Wars collection really came alive, too. I did, because 2024, I wasn't really doing a lot of Star Wars, doing a little bit here and there, but I wanted to get a lot of Lego from a lot of themes, and so Star Wars I didn't really dive into until this year. So yeah, this year's where my Star Wars, this room is where my Lego Star Wars collection really took off. Yeah. Oh, there's something reflecting on the TV. There we go. But yeah, this was a nice stream. Couple of really good models. 2026, I may look into doing some of these fan-made custom scenes for this little TV. Yeah. Finally have the full team of Avengers. Lots of good stuff happened here tonight. I'm rambling now. We're 3.5 hours in. It's just past midnight. Let's Ray John Lee and call it a night. Have a good night. I'll see you soon for something that's not Lego. If it is Lego, it'll be computer Lego. I'll probably see you 4 more times in this space, in this room. We'll see what I can do. And next year, we'll be picking up the Lego again in the new space, and we'll finally start the pinball project I've been talking about for months. I gotta figure out how to recover all my games from the corruption I had. But for now, we're gonna call it. Have a happy Thanksgiving, because I won't see you until sometime this weekend. And yeah, have a good night.
For the raid. How was your stream?